PlayStation's live service mishap spotlights the one area Xbox is undeniably dominating its rival. This is Samuel Torrett over at Windows Central. Michael, dude, let's get going. I've had some time off, refreshed, energized, a little darker today. Let's get into it. As PlayStation's live service initiative continues stumbling, it highlights a growing disparity between the firm and a multi-platform Xbox. This is the biggest thing here, man. This is where Xbox, for me, I think, is starting to take the lead, and PlayStation starting to fall behind. PlayStation was once aiming to have 12 first-party live service games, all operating by 2026. We said not a chance then. Well, here we are. Not happening, right? Not happening at all. With revenue from these games providing over half of Sony's interactive entertainment's revenue. Dude, the gameplay on paper sounds to make a ton of sense. However, we have one failure after another. Of course, Sony thought the process back in 2022. The majority of its games are big and increasingly expensive single-player titles that don't generate reoccurring revenue. So, shore up and invest to fortify the multiplayer side of things. This is reasonable enough. The company did have some existing live service franchises in the form of, well, Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo racing game and San Diego Studios' MLB The Show games. But it wanted to expand well beyond that, even bringing in Bungie as a multi-platform developer while bringing live service PlayStation Studio games day one to Windows PC. Yet, years down the line from the original claim, it's abundantly clear that this isn't going to happen. A bevy of studio closures and game cancellations have thrown the initiative off course, leading to a number of questions about what's left. Michael, you want to know what's left? Because I'm about to break it down, and there ain't much.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. Helldivers 2 from Arrowhead Games, right? That one, huge success. Knocked out of the park. Big surprise. Ben Studio game, canceled. Bluepoint's God of War game, canceled. Bungie's Marathon, still in development. Deviation game, canceled. Studio, closed. Firewalk Studios, Concord. Well, we all know how that went down, dude. It was not good, right? Released, unreleased, studio closed. That's how that went down. Fire Sprites, reportedly Twisted Metal reboot, canceled. Guerrilla Games Horizon co-op game, still currently in development, as rumors continue. NCSoft's Horizon MMO, canceled. Avon's Fair Games, still in development. Dude, terrified. That one comes out, I think we're in for another Concord situation. Calling it right now. London Studios Fantasy game, canceled. Studio, closed. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Online, canceled. That was a mistake, I think, right there. Huge mistake, I'm telling you. Neon Koi's mobile action game, canceled. Studio, closed. Unannounced studio, reportedly Gummy Bears, still in development, whatever the heck that is. With at least 8 games canceled. 8 games canceled, Michael. Including the unreleased Concord. Unreleased, released, taken off, and then came back. Yeah, it's gone too. Things haven't exactly gone smoothly. This rampant closure spells out a clear problem, one that seems to have reached a peak with recent news that Ben Studio, the team that crafted the single-player open-world game Days Gone, and Bluepoint Games, known for its remakes and single-players like Shadow of Colossus and Demon Souls, were both working on now canceled live service games, including live service God of War title. Dude, what's going on there? The bright spot, though, obviously, Helldivers 2, selling 12 million plus copies. Huge. Way back in May of 2024. It's a complicated problem to tackle, made all the more difficult by Microsoft's repeated investing in the live service space, such as the eye-popping acquisition of the Activision Blizzard King and the newfound willingness to bring its Xbox games to other platforms. This is why we see Xbox going, hey, we'll play nice with PlayStation. Call of Duty was never going to be anything but a multi-platform situation. Sea of Thieves, though, from Rare, going over the world of PlayStation, huge bump. Already a juggernaut title over on Xbox when it comes to that live service, right? Dude, they're on, what did I see? Season 14 now? Maybe 15, somewhere in around there, right? Continuing to go, continuing to grow. is the biggest thing, right? So more and more games now branching out. The other rumors of the latest, though, you ready for this one? Halo.
Ooh.
Forza.
Ooh, so weird.
Coming over to mess with PlayStation as well, as they're looking to bring over a Halo, the Forza racing franchise, over to the PlayStation storefront. Going to be a huge move. This is where Xbox, Michael, right now is leading the charge, and PlayStation is completely failing at its most pivotal point, I think. We should have. Concord should have been a success 5 years ago, right?
Yep.
You and I talk about it all the time here. It's all about timing, right?
Yep.
You got to hit that sweet spot. Concord, not the sweet spot, coming out at $40 price tag. We've talked that one to death. You want to see more on us talking about Concord? Archive our stuff. Go over to itgtv.com. It's all right there, right? The other side of it, though, let's get into some of the other stuff. Dude, Ben has been, like, gone since Days Gone. Dude. And then they just got their game canceled. What does the future of that studio look like? Are we now going to get followed up with hey, this studio is closed too? Part of me is worried. Part of me doesn't think that's actually going to happen. Where are you going to place that team, though? That's a big problem. Michael, where are you at here with this whole who's leading the race now when it comes to live service? Because when it comes to single player content, it's all PlayStation, but we know that's a one and done opportunity.
I mean, I think the big thing is that we've really learned is that it's not. We don't have no idea how to predict live service games, right? I mean, Helldivers 2 is the biggest live service game of the year, and nobody expected that to be big. That's a win for PlayStation. Because when you look at Xbox side, yes, they have Sea of Thieves, but everything else for Xbox is what Blizzard brought over, right? World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo. Xbox didn't have anything to do with those. They just happened to purchase Activision Blizzard. So I just think that we're really learning the market isn't looking to be oversaturated by live service games. They're going to pick one up. Everybody's going to stick on it because that's the thing with live service games, right, Drew? You stick on it. You log in daily. You don't want to have 7 live service. All right, let me log on Helldivers 2. Get my dailies done. All right, let me now log on God of War game that just got canceled. Let me get my dailies done there. Now when Marathon comes out, let me log on Marathon. Get my dailies done there, right? There's only so many live service games players can log on at a time. And I think that is where PlayStation kind of missed the boat of saying, well, what if we have 12 of them? Who's going to play all 12 of them? Who's going to play all of these? I also don't think Marathon's going to do very well, by the way. I think that one is also going to be released into very flopping very quickly. But I just think PlayStation totally misread the entire thing. They needed to say, let's find 1 or 2 like Helldivers and let that supplement our single-player titles. We talked about it a bunch, Drew. Sony kills in single-player. They should have stuck with that. Xbox was floundering, and now they've kind of let Xbox back in the game, as he said.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Xbox now is slowly starting to creep right in, right? When you take a look at the lineup, though, for the rest of Xbox, what do they have as live service? Not much. They're really banking on the next Halo, right? Mm-hmm. Will the next Halo launch day and date on PlayStation, you think?
It should. I think it should. I don't think it will.
Which is fair. Now, I want to quickly touch on, before we go, because we're already like 8 minutes in here, I want to quickly touch on Naughty Dog. Here is what I said back then, and I still stand by it now. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us should have launched. Mm-hmm. Absolutely should have launched, and then they should have passed it to Days Gone, who just got their game canceled. We would have been in there, Naughty Dog and Days Gone studio with Ben working together to make this. Naughty Dog's like, this would have turned this into a live service studio. I understand that because you have to have the content to keep pumping out there to keep us coming back, right? That's the biggest thing. But if you have Ben in there as well to help, because what are they doing now? Dude, their live service game just got scrapped. After all these years? What are you putting out, PlayStation? One single player game after another is cool, but it doesn't keep your lights on because you're spending $400-500 million to produce a single player game. You cannot survive doing that. This is where the leading kind of changes hands and goes, PlayStation was at the top, but Xbox is starting to creep up.